Hello Internet, welcome to the Board Gamer. It's been a little while since my last stream, which actually normal was on Friday night. It just seems like a really long time. Tonight on Breakaway, we are back to Arkham Horror. I'll give a recap of what happened last time, but first, just to catch up a bit on logistics stuff. Theboardgamer.com is up. Content has been placed there. All the video streams, minus the two last week, which had some technical issues that I'm still trying to work out, see if I can edit through them, are up there, as well as two new game reviews. Last week we posted the review for the last Friday, and this week was Clank. So go check those out. Video reviews for both those games are forthcoming once I can figure out the equipment setup. What else we got? PAX Unplugged. Passes went on sale today. I did grab some. I will be attempting to go as media. We'll see what happens, but at least I know I'm going on my in general. So if you haven't gotten passes yet, go look into that. It is in November. It's PAX, but just for board games, which is awesome. I cannot wait for that in Philadelphia. So hopefully everybody will see me there. Starting to work out on a new setup for solo streams. It's not quite in place yet, so I'm still having to go with the old setup. Hello, the Man. So I got the webcam fixed to the ceiling, which still is not an ideal scenario because I can't zoom in properly. But the next time I do a solo stream, I should have a setup that works a little bit better. Because even today, I'm going to do my best from the overhead. I'll give you a look here. From the overhead, it's not really clear exactly what a lot of the cards are saying. I did my best with the lighting, and just the zooming in does not help anything. So I'll be working on a brand new setup for next week. And with that, let's get right into the game. If you remember last time, that was about a month ago now. The beginning of the campaign, Roland, who I am playing as, the Fed, had his house torched as it was being invaded by ghouls, and is now looking basically around Arkham for the culprits. I'll read the intro in, and then we'll go over the act cards, and we'll get started. So, Midnight Masks. And it says, in the wake of the disaster at your home, Lita Chandler, the red-haired woman from your parlor, lays out a tale that, even in the light of what you've just witnessed, strains the limits of your belief. The creatures in your home, she claims, are called ghouls, cruel beings who plague the crypts, caverns, and tunnels beneath the city of Arkham. The creatures feed on the corpses of humans, and there are several served by a dark cult within Arkham whose members have inexplicably come to worship the ancient master of the ghouls. This cult has been killing innocent people and feeding them to the ghouls, satiating a monstrous hunger. A dark balance was maintained until now. Recently, Lita continues, one of their lairs where the corpses were stored was destroyed. Since then, the ghouls have been more active than usual. I have tracked their movements and tried my best to stop them from running amok throughout the city, but I think there may be something worse going on. The cult has been planning something darker, more ominous, than anything I have yet observed. Indications are that this plan shall come to fruition tonight, shortly after midnight. Beyond that, I cannot fathom what to expect. Many of the cultists, Lita continues, will seem like everyday people despite their foul intentions. Whenever their cult meets, its members don a mask shaped like skulls of various animals to protect their identities from one another. These masks are our mark, symbols of death and decay. We must unmask the cultists and expose and derail their plans. We have but a few hours. The more cultists we find before midnight, the better. Right, so that's the setup. So let's take a look at the agenda. I'm sorry, I'm gonna set up here for the, and once again I've set up for some cool music here. Just give me one sec. something slightly more interesting to listen to than just my voice for an hour. And if you're in the channel and it's too loud, let me know and I'll adjust it for you. But hopefully it should be sufficiently creepy. There we go. Alright, so we have our agenda. Lita seems predator or prey. Lita seems convinced of the conspiracy within the city of Arkham. She believes that a secret cult serves the ghouls that live in the crypts beneath the city. And that several of the cult's prominent members are scattered throughout Arkham. As you begin searching for them, you can't shake the feeling that you too are being hunted. And as the course of the game goes, I'm going to have the ability to basically just bow out if I feel like it. That's what this resign means, is as soon as I feel like I'm done enough, I can basically back out of the game. It's going to give me, each round we put on a Doom token on the agenda. Once it gets to 6, we flip it and move to the next one. I got a total of 12 turns, so until midnight, to figure it out. And now the act card, so my side. You have one night to find the members of this cult and unveil their plan. The more members of the cult you find and interrogate before midnight, the better. Oops, move that up there. Investigators spend 2 clues per investigator as a group. Draw the top card of the cultist deck. Objective, find as many unique cultist enemies as you can and add them to the victory display. If there are 6 unique cultist enemies in the victory display, advance. So we're going to have to search the city, which is represented by the 8 location cards that I have out here. We've got the north side, downtown, east town, Miskatonic University, Rivertown, Graveyard, St. Mary's Hospital, and Southside, which to anybody who's played Arkham Horror at all should be very familiar with. Side. And I'm starting in Rivertown because normally I would start in the My House card, which would normally be down here, but because my house was torched at the end of the last game, unfortunately I don't have a house anymore. So started in Rivertown. Actually, let me give this a flip because I'm actually in it. It's currently on the lock side. And we put 1 clue per investigator. It's good. Good starting location. And it's got a shroud value of 1, so that means I need to do my check and meet the score of 1 in order to pass. I still haven't shuffled anything, so we'll take a look at my starting hand and see whether or not I want to mulligan. So I'll draw 5. I've got first aid. Help if I end up with some damage. Unexpected courage. Not bad. A good wild skill. If I really want to get that skill check passed. Sorry about the reflection there. I'm still working on the lighting in here. Excellent. A weapon. I've got the 45 automatic. That's what I was looking for in my starting hand. Is I'm looking for a weapon. Put that a little further away. Hopefully it doesn't affect the overhead too much. So we'll probably start with this hand. Oh, unfortunately, I also got my basic weakness of hypochondria. If I take any damage, I can take 1 horror, but I can spend 1 turn, basically taking all my actions to get rid of it, and an emergency cache, gaining 3 resources. I'd still have a chance to mulligan this hand, which I think I'm going to, even though I got the weapon, just to get rid of the hypochondria, which I would rather wait till later to have than right at the beginning. Lighting has been a bit of a challenge in the new studio because it's a lot tighter than the other room was. And the ceiling itself is reflective in a kind of an orangey yellow color, which you can kind of see on the spot here. Oh, no music is coming through? Thank you, man. Let me take a look. Should be. Any different now? Alright, well, I'll have to figure that out later. It's funny, it worked correctly last time. I have changed the audio settings when I moved everything around here. Thanks for letting me know. Alright, new hand then. First card, we've got Working a Hunch, good for finding clues. Dodge, in case I get attacked. Overpower, helps with attacks as well. Magnifying Glass, helps while getting clues. And Emergency Cash, unfortunately, did not get anything weapon, but I'm stuck with this hand now. So hopefully in subsequent turns I'll be able to grab something, and it'll help out. But let's get going. Incidentally, from my last playthrough, I unfortunately took my full in sanity damage, which means that at the start of every subsequent round, I start with 1 sanity damage. If I continuously fail to the point where I equal any of my sanity damage equals my total sanity, then I'd be killed outright and I would have to continue with a completely new investigator. Luckily, I've got a couple of decks made just in case that happens. So let's start. So we got a pretty easy investigation. So my first action is just going to be take the investigate action. I've got a lore of 3 and the shroud value is 1, so unless I draw a complete outright failure or a -2 out of the bag or more, or a complete outright failure, there's nothing more than a -2 I think in this bag. So I draw the token, and it is, of course, a complete and outright failure. You gotta love those tentacles. Great. So that messes up my first action. I might as well go for that clue token anyway. Okay, so next action is once again to investigate the location. These symbols have explanations on the scenario card. In this case, I drew the cultist action. It's a -2, which means thankfully I succeed, and I place 1 doom on the nearest cultist enemy. There's luckily no cultist enemies right now, but what are the chances of drawing the 2 symbols on my first playthrough? So I did successfully grab the clue token, so I can take it off of this location, and I can move to the end of... Oh, sorry, I also start with 5 resources here. I totally forgot. I'll put the clue token here. Five resources. I gain 1 at the end of my turn, and I get to draw a card. And I got first aid again, so at least if I get injured, I can heal that. And now we move on to the enemy side of things. So we draw 1 encounter card, and I have an acolyte. It spawns at an empty location. After an acolyte enters play, I place 1 doom token on it. Empty location, empty location. Well, right now I'm like the focus of the deck is to kill things and allow that to get you clue tokens, because Roland's ability allows you to discover a clue at the location regardless of the shroud value. So I want these guys nearby so I can go beat on them. So an empty location nearby is on the graveyard, and I place 1 doom token on him, like it says. And luckily that's the only effect, so I get to move on to, oh, and I place 1 Doom token on the agenda, so that's 1 out of 6. Alright, next turn. Still don't have a weapon, but hopefully I will be able to, hopefully I'll be able to do something. Oh crap, too. I put him in the graveyard, and I didn't realize that the graveyard was a step away. So I guess I'll start by moving to east side. So the graveyard, they're hard to see here, but the icons located at the bottom of Rivertown don't link to the icon for the graveyard, which is the brown X. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go the long route. I should have paid attention to that. So we'll head into East Town. Oh no, hold on. Where are you connected here? X. Oh, it is connected. Looks purple on this from the lighting here. So I will move into the graveyard. Turn that over. Alright, as soon as I reveal it, forced. After you enter the graveyard, test your will 3. If you fail, you must either take 2 horror or move to Rivertown. So my will is currently 3, so I need a plus or an even. Is there anything I can dump for a skill test? I want to keep that. No, I think I'm... Yeah, you know what? It's been pretty bad. I'm going to dump my first aid to add 1 to my will. So it's a 4 now against a 3. And we've drawn a -1. So good on me for doing that. So I pass that. I don't take either horror or have to move out. I put 2 clue tokens available on Rivertown. There's a shroud value of 1, so it's the graveyard. There's a shroud value of 1, so it's not too difficult. But the acolyte is now engaged with me because I am at the same location as him. And let's go for a let's go fight him. So my might on Roland is 4. He has a physical attack, so he's got basically 3 on the check. So I have to do at least draw a -1 or higher to do damage to him. He only has 1 health, so he would instantaneously die in that case. I need some cards here, so I'm going to use the overpower to commit to the skill test, which will give me 2 extra. So it'll give me a clue token and allow me to draw a card. So for overpower, I'll have 2 extra might, and if I'm successful, I'll draw 1 card. Hopefully, get a weapon. Come on. -2. So with my total of 6, -2 is 4. That does damage to the acolyte, enough damage to the acolyte to kill it. Not worth any victory points though. So he'll go in the discard pile. That means I get to draw a card, which is Unexpected Courage, another skill card, but the 2 random symbols, so I can use it for anything, which is fantastic. And I will use Roland's effect to immediately discover a clue token at my location. And I'll need to wait till the next round to use the clue tokens to discover a cultist. But pretty successful, moved over and got a kill out of that. So we'll move on to the end of my turn, get another resource. Draw a card, and this time I get, still no weapon, Guts for will checks, and again if I draw a card if it's successful. Sorry. So kind of useful there, there seems to be a few will checks. And then we move on to the encounter. And we have on Wings of Darkness, test agility 4. If you fail, take 1 damage and 1 horror, then disengage from each non-Night God enemy engaged with you and move to a central location. So essentially, basically, a Night God would pick me up and drop me somewhere. No Night Gaunts, so that's good, but I still have to test agility 4, and I've got a 2. I'm not going to dump any of my cards, so I might as well just eat the damage here, because there's absolutely nothing. There's absolutely nothing I could do to really stop that from happening. So 1 horror and 1 damage, and I get dropped back in Rivertown. Thanks, Night Gaunt. All right. So I'm going to use my first action to draw. On the side here, I've got a deck of cultists. I'm going to use an action and my 2 clue tokens to find a cultist. And we have found Merman Collins. He spawns in the graveyard. Good. As an action, choose and discard 4 cards from my hand, and I parlay. I add Herman Collins directly to the victory display. So I don't have to fight him if I don't want to. I can just get rid of some cards in my hand. We'll have to weigh that when I get to the graveyard, because by the time I do that, I will have taken all my actions. So I use an action to reveal the cultists. Switch overhead there. An action to move back into the graveyard with Merman. Oh, actually, he's going to attack me, isn't he? Let's not do that, then. I will not move. Like I said, I need a weapon, so I'm going to draw then. And I got Roland's 38 special. His special weapon, I could discard it for a might, agility, or random. Might, agility, and random. I put 4 ammo tokens on it, and I spend 1 ammo, and I fight. I get a +1 for the attack, and if there are any clues on the location, I get +3 instead. This attack game does +1 damage, so extremely good draw there. Glad I did that instead. And I'll stay here, so we'll move to the end of the turn. Resource, another draw. Get a Vicious Blow. Does some extra damage if I use it during a skill test, so good for a really difficult enemy, which is good because the Ghoul Priest from the previous game is in there. Also good because my hand now has 8 cards. I've got enough stuff that I think I can successfully dump here to parlay properly with Merman on the next turn. So, whoops, I did forget to put another Doom token here. So let's put the next Doom token down. And on the encounter, we have a Wizard of the Order. Spawns at an empty location. He does retaliate, so if I don't kill him in the attack, he attacks back. Only does 1 damage, though. At the end of the Mythos phase, place 1 Doom on Wizard of the Order. Let's see here. Well, I'm going to put him probably in the next location I'm going to head to so I can smack him there. He's just going to stay there for the moment, so let's put him there. And move on to my turn. Pardon me. I'm going to move over to the graveyard. And that causes Merlin to engage with me, and I will use my action, and I will discard the emergency supply cache. Guts. The magnifying glass. And I've got another dodge, so I'll discard dodge as well. That's 4 cards. And that puts Herman in the victory pile. So we've got 1 cultist down. And that was quite quickly the end of my turn. So another resource, which are starting to pile up now, and another card. And I've drawn Roland's weakness. His themed weakness, which is cover up. I put cover up into play in my threat area with 3 clues on it. When I would discover 1 or more clues at my location, discard that many clues from cover up instead. If the game ends and there are any clues on cover up, I suffer 1 mental trauma. So that's going to slow me down. Unfortunately, there's no way of getting rid of that other than actually going through with what it says on it. We'll meet the end of new mythos. Put another doom token. I've only got 2 left there before that flips, and I have a locked door attached to the location with the most clues. And without a locked door attached, the attached location cannot be investigated. I have to use an action and a might 4 check to break down the door, or an agility 4 check to pick the lock. If I succeed, I destroy the locked door. I can discard the locked door. So that goes here on the graveyard. Not a big deal because I'm probably going to move out of here anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start trying to clear up this cover up. I'm going to use Working a Hunch, which is fast, meaning I can play it at any time without using an action. And I discover 1 clue at my location. Instead of discovering the clue at the location, it immediately will remove 1 from my cover up. So I've only got 2 left. I'm going to prepare myself for whatever might come next. So I'm actually going to play my 38 special. So that's 3 resources for that. And I should put it back on to track ammo. And I'm going to move Roland then from the graveyard back to Rivertown. And that'll be the end of my turn. So we got another resource. And we draw a card, which is the machete, which hopefully I won't need to use. But if it comes down to it, at least I've got another weapon. 1 more Doom token. And we turn over Crypt Chill. Test Will 4. If I fail, choose and discard 1 asset I control. If you can't, take 2 damage instead. Maybe it's a good thing I got the machete, because I may have to drop Roland's. I need to keep that gun. So I'm going to use Unexpected Courage for my will check. That'll bring it up to 5. And I draw the skull, which according to our scenario card is -X. -X is the highest number of Doom on a cultist enemy in play, which right now is the Wizard of the Order and only has 1, so that's a passed check. Thank goodness. So I do not lose Roland's 38 special. Now it is my turn. We are going to take the first action to move into Easttown, which I now flip over. Has 1 clue. While you're in Easttown, reduce the cost of each ally asset you play by 2. Fortunately, I haven't drawn an asset yet. And the Wizard of the Order comes and engages me. So now I will make an attack on a Wizard of the Order using Roland's 38 special. So 1's off that. So this is +1 for the check. Actually, sorry, +3 because there is 1 clue at the location. So that is a 7, and it will deal +1 damage. So 2 damage. And I think I need a complete outright failure here because I need to hit a 4. So as long as I don't draw tentacles. A +1. So no problem there. Actually, that would have been 2 Doom tokens. He would have had one at the end of the Mythos phase, but that wouldn't have changed that. So the Wizard of the Order is dead. I will use Roland's ability to take another clue off of Cover Up. And that was my 2 actions. Reached the end of my turn. Sorry, 3 actions. What have I been doing? Just made it harder on myself. I mixed this up with, what was it I was playing that just had 2 actions that you could take? I can't remember. Oh well. So my 3rd action then. Let's take the clue off of Easttown. It's a little harder than the others though. It's 2, so let's give that a try. Knew something felt weird. 2 actions felt too slow. I did something similar last time too, and I missed a rule that made things harder for me. All right, so I'm investigating. Shroud value is 2. I have a lore of 3, and I get a skull, which is fine because there are no more cultists, so it doesn't reduce it at all. So I successfully investigate, and I will, that'll stay there. I will remove the last one from Cover Up, and this stays in play, but luckily it's not going to do anything at the end of the game. All right, now it's the actual end of my turn, and hopefully the subsequent turns will go easier. I draw an emergency cache, so I get 3 resources, but I'm probably going to dump this at some point because I'm really not in a hurt for resources right now. I would end up putting the last Doom token on the agenda card, so let's go ahead and flip this over and see what it has to say. It is the Masked Hunter. He spawns engaged with prey. Whoever has the most clues. Well, I'm the only player, so he would be engaged with me. The hunter gets +2 health per investigator. While you are engaged with the Masked Hunter, you cannot discover or spend clues. So he's engaged with me directly. And the new agenda. Time is running short. The minutes pass quickly as your investigation continues. So nothing different here. I just have 8 more rounds in order to try to complete the scenario. So I'm engaged now with the Masked Hunter. So I have now 3 actions. Whoops, back to 3 actions in order to try to get rid of him. Luckily, I have 3 ammo tokens on my 38 special. So let's. He only takes 2 health though. So if I'm lucky, 2 attacks should get rid of him. So 1 attack with the 38 special. Actually, sorry, he has 6 health, so I will need to take all 3 attacks. He has +2 health per investigator. Alright, so since there's still a clue at the location, I'm still running on a 7. He's got a 4. I have a +1. I drew a +1. I'm not going to go close up for this. Hopefully you guys trust me. +1, so that's 2 damage. On the Masked Hunter. Take another attack. So again, 7. The Heart, -3. If you fail, place 1 of your clues on your location. Now luckily 7 minus 3 is still 4, so I still succeed, thank goodness. And now there is 4 damage on the Masked Hunter. One last attack with the 38 special, which will eliminate it, or at least render it useless. And it's a tentacle. I have an outright failure. Which means I'm going to suffer the attack of the Masked Hunter. The 38 special is toast. End of my turn. Oh, it's attacks first? Yeah, sorry. Attacks first. Each engaged enemy attacks if able. I don't have an ability to get out of the attack. So I end up taking 1 horror and 2 physical damage. Oops, for a total of 3. Now it's the end. Now it's officially the end of my turn. I take 1 resource, draw a card. Oh, good. Ally. I have a beat cup. This is my upgraded beat cup from last time. I used 2 of the 3 experience points I gathered to upgrade my beat cup. He's an ally. I can use him as a 3 health or 2 horror sponge. He gives me +1 to my might, and if I exhaust him, he deal 1 damage to deal 1 damage to it, and then it deals 1. So basically, he just bum rushes the guy and takes a few scraps out of that. Extremely useful. Not for the Masked Hunter, because if I actually used him, I would get hit first, which isn't useful. So now move on to Mythos. We got a Doom token. We draw Obscuring Fog. Attached to my current location. Attached location gets +2 Shroud. After the attached location is successfully investigated, discard Obscuring Fog. Luckily, I won't need to investigate. If I manage to kill our friend the Masked Hunter, I can automatically gain that clue token without having to investigate, which is pretty awesome. All right, so my turn now. Masked Hunter has 4 damage. I need to do one more attack with some extra damage. So I'm going to. I can't really use any cards because I'm engaged. He'd have an attack of opportunity, but I will use my Vicious Blow as part of my next skill check. So that'll bring my total damage, my total might up to 5, and if I do succeed in the attack, it will do 1 extra damage. So as long as I don't get the -2 or the automatic failure, I will kill the Masked Hunter. And I got the -2. So sadly, that is a missed attack. Wow, what else do I have here? I don't really want to to get rid of the beat cop, but I really need to use him, but I can't when I'm engaged with the Masked Hunter, and I don't want to attempt to evade him. Alright, straight up. Do I really want to do that? Alright, let's dump the machete for +1 might. So I've got 5. Again, as long as I don't draw the -2 or the outright failure, or the cultist symbol. Tentacles again. So I wasted 2 cards now on 2 completely whiffed attacks. I can't kill him. Alright, let's try something else. I'm going to try is he going to... He's going to come after me, right? Yeah, he's going to come after... So I'm going to evade him in an attempt to... No, that'll just disengage him. They'll engage right away, although he won't fight. Because I can't kill him, so I might as well try to evade him. He'll disconnect, and then he'll re-engage in the next turn, and hopefully I'll have something I can work with. So my agility is 2. His evade check is 2, so I need to pass it. And I got a 0. So I disengage from the Masked Hunter. Ugh. He re-engages with me, but doesn't attack, so I don't take any additional damage. I grab another resource and draw a card, which is Lita Chandler. She was the character at the end of the last, and she was included in the deck because she joined me. While I control Lita Chandler, she gains, each investigator at the location gains +1 might, and when an investigator in your location successfully attacks a monster enemy, that investigator deals +1 damage. These would be great to have if I could actually put them down. Alright, another Doom token. We have drawn a false lead on Revelation. If you have no clues, false lead gains Surge. If you have one or more clues, test Lore 4. For each point you fail, place one of your cues at your location. I have no clues, so it gains Surge. I put it in the discard pile, and I draw a new one. Mysterious Chanting, Hex. Place 2 Doom on the nearest cultist enemy. If there are no cultist enemies in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a cultist enemy, draw it, and shuffle the encounter deck. Is Mr. The Mist Hunter is a cultist, so he will get 2 Doom tokens. So hopefully I will not draw a skull from now on. Alright, now back to the fun. I really would love to have one of these meat sponges back down to take some damage for me, or at least help me out with the attack. But the best I can do right now, the best thing I can do right now is try for 2 back-to-back successful attacks. Thank goodness he doesn't have Retaliate either, because otherwise I would be taking a lot of damage. So first attack, it's a might of 4, check of 4, -1 is a failure. Second attack, you know what? I'm sorry, Beat Cop. Oh no, you want? Yeah, sorry, Beat Cop. Oh, no, I still need to make 2 attacks. Alright, instead I'm going to make an evade check to attempt to disengage. I'm going to discard the Beat Cop to give me +1 on the agility check, so that's a 3 now against 2. And I got an Elder Sign, which is +1 for each clue on the location, which means I pass. I disengage from the Masked Hunter, and I will now put Lita Chandler in play, allowing me to have a damage sponge, and she's going to do me make it so I can give extra might and extra damage. Hopefully will finally help me get rid of this frickin' Masked Hunter. So that's the end of my turn now. Masked Hunter engages me again. I get 1 resource and a card, which I now have Unexpected Courage again. So some random symbols, thank goodness, that'll help me out as well. Another Doom token, and we get an Acolyte. Just like the other one, spawns in an empty location and comes with a Doom token on it. Empty location. Let's put them downtown. So if I do get rid of the Masked Hunter, I can immediately move downtown and deal with the Acolyte. So, start of my turn. Let's go ahead and attack the Masked Hunter again. So now Lita's giving me a +1 to my might, so that's a 5. And I drew a skull, which is -2. So that's a failed attack. I am having the absolute worst luck this evening. Second attack, a 0. It's successful. I do 1 damage. Lita's going to do the extra damage. That's enough to kill the Masked Hunter. Thank goodness. He goes into the victory display. I will use Roland's ability to grab this clue token. So that was 2 attacks. And now I'm going to, instead of moving into downtown, because that will allow the Acolyte a free hit on me, he doesn't move, so he stays where he is. I'm going to draw a card. And I get another Vicious Blow, so it'll help me out with another attack. Right, 2 cultists down, not much time left to go. Oh, sorry, end of my, enemies don't move, so end of my turn, another resource. They're starting to pile up here. Card, I gain evidence. Play after I defeat an enemy, I discover 1 clue at my location. So on top of Roland's ability, if there's another clue there, I could potentially get 2 in one go. Now we move on to Mythos. Doom token, and we have a Haunting Shadow. I must either spend 1 clue token or take 2 damage. I believe I could split the damage between the two. I'll double check that one. Allies. Okay. Damage. Instead. Can have. Doesn't say. Equal to. It says if an asset with a health value has damage on it. I'm pretty sure I can assign it. Assigning damage? Dealing damage? When an investigator is dealt damage or horror, that an investigator may assign it to an eligible. Oh, so I guess I can split it. So I'll take 1. I don't want to get rid of my clues. I'll take 1, and Lita will take 1. That's what she's here for. All right. My go. We will move into the downtown area. The cultist will become engaged with me. And downtown says, 1 action, I can heal 3 horror. Hey! Only use once per game. High shroud value, so hopefully I can kill this cultist in 1 go. And get both clue tokens without actually having to investigate. So again, cultist has a check of 3. Oh, he's got a doom token on him just in case that comes up. Check of 3. My might and Lita gives me a 5, and I drew a skull, which is -1 for the number of cultists. Doom token on cultist, which is just a -1, which is enough to do 2 damage to the Acolyte, killing him. And I will play evidence to take a clue token from having killed an enemy for killing the enemy, and I will use Raymond's ability to take the other clue token. So it was my 1 movement, my 1 attack. I can now go ahead and use an action and 2 clue tokens to reveal the top card of the cultist deck. And I have drawn Wolfman Drew. He spawns downtown, great. When Wolfman Drew attacks, heal 1 damage from him, and I can't parlay with him at all. He immediately spawns downtown, which means he immediately engages with me. He is the cannibal, which is why he heals. So basically I'm stuck with him engaged, and he immediately attacks, doing 2 damage. So again, I'll assign one to me and one to Meat Sponge Chandler. End of my turn, I will take one resource and draw a card. I have drawn Guts, which will help me with a will check, but I can't see that it's going to happen frequently at this point. All right, and we go to Mythos. Another Doom token, and we've drawn another Acolyte. So he goes in an empty location with one Doom token. Let's put him on the north side, because I have to deal with Wolfman Drew first. I need to do 4 damage to him to kill him. So I've got Lita going to get the extra damage. I still don't have a weapon again. And I've got 2 45 automatics in here that are somewhere in the last half of this deck. So I am going to use my Vicious Blow as a skill check, so that will give me a total of 6 might, and I could do a total of 3 damage in 1 attack. So let's go ahead and put the attack on Wolfman Drew, which I have to kill before he attacks, because otherwise he's going to heal. And it's a -2, which is still enough, because I have 6, -2 is 4. So to do 3 damage to Wolfman Drew, and now I only need 1 more attack to kill him. So I'll just do a basic one, so that's a 5 and 2 damage. And it's a -1, so that's enough. Wolfman Drew is dead. He goes into the victory pile. And I'm going to use my last action to draw another card, which is once again Evidence. Again, hopefully this will be useful when it comes to dealing with that Acolyte in the north side, unless something else happens. Alright, probably be looking at retiring during this, during the 7th turn, because before it gets to 8. Turn over, and we've got Obscuring Fog attached to my location. Increases Shroud, not a problem. I'm not going to investigate there anyway. So, good draw there. Start of my turn, let's move over to the north side. Acolyte immediately becomes engaged with me. I can spend 5 resources to gain 2 clues from the token pool, which is great. Plus, I've got the 2 clues I've got at this location. Maybe I'll want to take that extra turn. Oops. Alright, so Roland's now engaged with the Acolyte. Let's go ahead with a standard attack. So 5 against the Acolyte's 3. So -2 is still fine. 2 damage, kills the Acolyte. Roland's ability, we grab 1 clue token, and I have another Evidence for a 2nd clue token from the location, and then I will spend 2 to reveal the top card of the Cultist deck as my last action. And we have Victoria Devereaux. She spawns on the north side. What is with me spawning them from the location where they're supposed to be at? Spend 5 resources to parlay, and I add Victoria Devereaux to the victory display. It's a good thing I've been piling up resources. But she immediately starts engaged with me, so she will do 1 damage, which I will take. Where are the 3s here? There we go. 3 damage, which I'm now up to 6. End of my turn, I get another resource. Draw a card. I now have Working a Hunch. Play on my location. I discover 1 clue token at my location. And we go to the Mythos phase. It'll be the last turn, basically. And we draw, oh dear. Finally got one of those Night Gaunts. When attempting to evade, the Night Gaunt double the negative modifier for each revealed Chaos token. He's going to land in my location because there's only the one me. So I'm engaged with both enemies now, which is not fun. So, starting my turn, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to parlay with Victoria Devereaux. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Victoria is now in the victory pile. So I would need to do 4 damage to the Night Gaunt, which would take out my 2 last attacks, and we'd move immediately, believe, to the end of the act after that. He's easier to evade, but I don't really have anything else I can do. And taking the damage from using the action would end the... So I can use the resign action. Oh, I can actually use it without... Like, there's nothing else I can do. I don't have another turn to play. So I might as well use the resign action, which I can do at any time. And that'll basically end my... that'll basically end the agenda there. I've resigned. So I believe, I don't even think I need to turn this over, correct? Yeah. So that ends the second chapter, which I did a lot better this time than I did the first time. I ended up going insane. So let's see. You've managed to obtain some useful information about the cult and its plans. We can only hope it's enough. So I interrogated Victoria Devereaux, Wolfman Drew, the Masked Hunter, and Herman Collins. I kept calling him Merman, but it's Herman. And unfortunately, Ruth Turner and Peter Warren got away. So we may have to deal with them later. The Ghoul Priest is still somewhere in the encounter deck. He's still alive, so he will still continue to haunt me for the remainder of this. For the remainder of the story, which has 1 chapter left. Hopefully, I'll be able to get him off my back. And I will gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 victory points plus the 1 that I have left over from the last time. So for a total of 6, which will allow me to make a few upgrades to my deck. So, Chapter 2, Arkham Horror, is complete. Next time I pull out Arkham Horror, should be in about 2 or 3 weeks. I will have the new setup in place for solo games. It should eliminate a lot of the problems with seeing exactly what's going on here. You can even see on my screen right now with some of the lighting, it's a mess. Thank you. I'm happy to at least have gone through one of these without going insane. That's a bonus. So a new setup, which will hopefully allow people to actually see what's going on here, which either means that the overhead cam will be replaced with a camcorder with an optical zoom on it, which will allow us to get a clearer picture of the table, or I will have a tripod set up with an overhead view that's closer, with the webcam that's closer down, so that the details can actually be seen. A couple of little minor changes, minor things. By next stream, these jerseys, we've got a couple of them, will actually have logos on them, which should be pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to that. The first video review should be up and running sometime this weekend. The last Friday, I have a printed review on theboardgamer.com. The video review should be up and running hopefully sometime this weekend or early next week. So look forward to that one. I'm kind of excited about some of the stuff that the little elements I've added. So that should be very cool. Again, all the content is on theboardgamer.com. Normally, I would have a Friday night group stream, Game Night in Canada. This weekend, I am away, so that will not be happening. However, I will be looking to do a bonus stream early next week. So remember to check out the website. All the content's there and the links to Twitter and Facebook. So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you have a good evening, and I'll see you soon.